Hey, so I wanted to run through a quick example of a sales flow for you. And actually, let me see. I got to add one more thing to this browser so I can show you the results. So um, let me show you what happens. Um, a new lead, just to show you example of this flow. And now this is a little, it's actually way easier than this looks, but, and I could show you a much simpler one, but this is like a pretty good sales one that we have coming in. So what happens is that this is hooked up to an email, and an email of a new lead comes in and it dumps all this information you see right here. So this is hooked up to an Unbounce page that we have. And so we get all this data. And so what happens, that data comes in, and the first thing we do is we clean it up. So we say, so these are prompts. I'm not going to explain the whole tool for you. I'm just going to explain this flow. Um, is the first text prompt, and we say, hey, reformat this data and clean it into a client summary. And then I give it an example of other clean data. So it said, hey, here's a messy one. Here's the messy format, like the one I just got. And then here's the clean output of that. So using AI, it works really well where you just take old one and give it a new one, and compare it. And then when you're passing new stuff in, then it will make it the same. So here I'm cleaning up the data in short. Then the next step is I actually go through, okay, sorry. It starts with this messy data, and what happens is we get this email. By the end, we get an email that says, here's the client, here's how much we should charge the client based on the information that they gave us. Here are the top things that we could help the client with. So it actually does research from us and on our website, and it does research about the client and their website and what they do. And it gives AI looks at things that we could do and gives us suggestions ways that we could help them. And then here is all the information about the client also right here. So information from the web about the prospect. Wilson Company is a multifaceted organization, blah, blah, blah. So it takes that from the web, from a scraping of the web. And then the very last thing, it actually, if there were news articles about it, they would show up right here, but there are none on this one. And then the very last step is that it spits out an email, a customized email. We've noticed that we need really short, and for this customer, they need really short emails to get someone interested. So just three quick sentences. Hey, got your email for Amazon consultation. Upon look, I think we could help opt. And so the first one is like just a comment. The second one is actually taking these things that we could do for them, the client could do for the customer, and making them in one sentence. Hey, upon initial look, I think we could help optimize your e-commerce operations and enhance your sales strategy on Amazon. Looking forward to talking more. And then here's a sales agent's contact information. So that's the summary. And the way we do that is first we clean the data here. Then the second step is we actually do a pricing matrix calculation. So based on the information we gather of how big their business is on Amazon, how many sales they have, we say, or this pricing matrix says basically we're going to charge 3% of sales or $2,000, whatever is greater. That's their whole matrix. But you could put a really complicated pricing matrix here and then spit out simple information. So we now have a summary of the client name, business name, monthly sales on Amazon. This is that business that this customer is using, and then the estimated fee. I'm already kind of long, so let me keep going fast. Then we go and we say, actually, based on their domain and the email address that came through, let's pull out who the company is based on those two things. And then we actually do a Google search. Here's a web search that's using Google. It's a web search about the company. We then take that and summarize the search, because this is all raw data back from Google. So we summarize all that information to give a 100-word summary about the company. We then do a web search about this company. And so we do the same thing, dump the company in here, but we look for news. And so it runs and it looks for news. Then take the summary of the news that came back. There actually was none for this one. But if there was, we actually dedupe it, because Google News, sometimes it's like super mixed up. And so we actually tell the AI, hey, any articles, only return articles that you're 70% confident are about the company. And so when it does that, it actually gives news articles when it finds them. And then we clean up those articles and summarize them. And so we now have the information about the company. Now the last step is the email drafter. So this is the format of the email that the sales agents want to use. It says, hey, we say create an email with potential company. It should be structured as, hey, first name. I got your request from Amazon consultation. Want to see if you had a few minutes to discuss. Upon initial look, I think we could help with, and then we actually are referencing one of the things that they could help with. And then we say, I'm looking forward to talking about this, sign it, Rich Moffat, email should be no longer than 50 words. And so with that, we just feed that to the AI. That's the format we want it to be in. And then we feed all the information in about who the company is, who we are, what we can do for them. And the AI spits out this tight email, 50 words, or less than 50 words, what they can do for the company. Now, with all of that, we then take all of those outputs and just put them into these text nodes of saying, hey, here's the pricing matrix. Here's the information, what we can do for the client. Here's information about the client. And here's the email. And we put it all into one big output. And we send this email. This one's sent to Brad at Product Labs or sales@productlabs.ai for this customer. And then we actually put a subject to the email too. And then we could add it as an attachment. But that's the full process. And now every time a new client comes in, we get, I want to see if we have Unbounce. You're going to see my email here, which is not a problem. So is there an Unbounce notification? I don't know if I have, if I'm getting an Unbounce notification, but you could see it would be the dirty Unbounce. And now this is what comes in within 30 seconds. So Rich Moffat, who's the head of sales at this company, within 30 seconds, he's got how much we should charge him, who the company is. This is not the same company we were just looking at, but he's got all the information so that he could respond to that customer right away. And that is way too long of an explanation for you guys, but that's kind of a little more complicated sales one. But you could imagine how many more things you could do. We could start looking and scraping other sites for every lead that comes in. It's super easy, actually, to put it together once you start getting into it. Thanks.